Welcome. Really excited to have you here.
I'm excited to be here.
Thank you. For those that don't know, can you please introduce yourself?
Of course, my name is Yannick Jacob. I'm a positive existential coach. That means I'm using positive psychology in a framework of existential coaching. That's kind of my thing. I really love the depth of that. But I love seeing people grow. Seeing people learn and grow. That was always my thing, I guess. As I was growing up, I was teaching, and now I ended up as program leader for the MSc Coaching Psychology at the University of East London, and I run the foundational coaching module in the world's first masters in applied positive psychology and coaching psychology. So we really brought together two aspects that I was particularly passionate about, which is positive psychology and coaching psychology, and we start to get them together in a meaningful way. So I'm also a mediator, and I run leadership development workshops. I see my own clients, and I train and supervise coaches. So I've worked for a couple of other institutions, training coaches, helping them find their own style, helping them build their practice, their business, and particularly learn about positive psychology and existential coaching.
Really interesting. I'm intrigued to how did you get into positive psychology?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a bit of a journey. At the time, I finished my psychology degree way back in 2005. I got in touch with positive psychology in my last years of study, and I almost actually missed that module. I was just intrigued about the name, as so many people are. It's like, positive psychology? Well, what's that? That sounds really interesting. So I looked into it and realized, well, that's the scientific study of what's right with people, of people's resources, strength, of positive emotions, of what are the building blocks of happiness and well-being, and what's a good life, and how can we live with meaning and purpose, and things like post-traumatic growth and flow and engagement and hope and forgiveness. And scientists have started to research that and find empirical evidence for, like, not necessarily new ideas, but all of the good stuff, So I'm like, ooh, I'm gonna do that. And at the time, I was going to my module leader, Ilona Bonnewell, and said, "Hey, I've read in your book that there's this masters in Pennsylvania, the only masters in the world. Can you tell me more?" And she's like, "Well, there's another one now here with me." So I was lucky enough to join the second cohort of the second masters in the world in positive psychology, and that started my journey into researching what happiness is all about. And then I transitioned into coaching, because a lot of the research into coaching psychology comes from positive psychology, as the two are really natural partners. They fit together really well, and that sparked a lot of interest for me. Being naturally interested, I was initially interested in psychotherapy and counseling, because I wanted to work with people in that close psychological contact, and realized coaching is so much more me. I have a lot more freedom to be myself. Psychotherapy is often quite over-regulated, and I was really excited that I found something where I can be myself and where I can work with clients in a way that I find most useful and clients find most useful, and really define myself. I found myself in that practice and really flourish in sitting down with clients and working with them. So through existential coaching, I kind of got to an integrative approach of working with people along the spectrum of what they experience. And my positive psychology lens gave me a unique perspective on what ultimately clients bring into the coaching room, which is some form of feeling good or better. And it really didn't matter, and it still does to this point. Every single client that has ever stepped into my coaching room, no matter what goal they presented, whether that's quadrupling their income, or getting a promotion, or finding a partner, or losing weight, figuring something out, or performing better at work or in their personal life, at the end of that was always the ultimate goal of feeling good or better about themselves or the world. Having more positive emotions, or connecting with a sense of meaning and purpose in their life. And positive psychology has really given me a really good perspective on what that is about, a language to talk about what it means to be happy. Like, when you say you want to be happier, what do you actually mean? Do you mean positive relationships, or do you mean a sense of autonomy, a sense of personal growth? helping clients to accept themselves more fully as they are, or helping them connect to a sense of meaning or create a sense of purpose in their life. Developing skills so that they can deal with their environments and live more autonomously, live more free, be more in control of their choices. All of these things were really useful when I worked with positive psychology. So that was a very exciting area of study and so relevant to people in general, but my clients in particular.
I can see the passion you have in positive psychology, and it's really interesting how you, through your journey, combine the existential approach and positive psychology, and actually you, through that journey, finding the sense of authenticity with what resonates with you the most, and using the science of happiness. I want to learn about the science of happiness. That sounds really exciting. Okay, what is this course then?
So I've run this course quite a few times at Anima Center for Coaching, a coaching school that I really highly respect, and the founder Nick Bolton gave me a chance to develop a course on positive psychology and run it over a weekend with the students of their school. So I was excited about that, and went into my lab and looked at what are the areas of positive psychology that are really relevant for coaches out there, that were really relevant to me, and that I've seen students on the master course really connect with. So on that basis, I developed a course over a weekend, so that's about 16 hours, 8 hours a day, and I saw that magic happens in that room. Coaches really connected with what I was presenting, and I gave them a space to really make sense of it. This is not me saying this is what positive psychology coaching is and this is how it works and this is what you need to be doing with your clients, because that doesn't really exist yet. We don't, as academically, we don't quite know what positive psychology coaching is. There's no step-by-step program or 10-12 plan, but instead there's tons of material that can be applied in many different ways. So the way that this weekend worked is that I throw in an idea or concept, or a piece of research, or an intervention that was grounded in positive psychology research, maybe some psychometric tests that have come out of the research. So throw that into the room and let coaches of all different levels make sense of it and really pick out what works for them and what they can use with their clients. And through this exploration, so many ideas have come up of how we can utilize these exciting findings with our clients. There's very pragmatic interventions, there are a series of questions that you can ask, but also on a broader philosophical level, a new perspective on what happy actually means and what are the building blocks there. So there will be something for coaches of all levels to really become better coaches, learn something, get more excited about the way that they work with people, and develop a different perspective on what clients are really passionate about, which is, some happy. Who doesn't want to be happy? Everybody wants to be happy.
I want to be happy now. So, for those viewers at home or in the office, if for example, if I'm a new coach, what would be the value in this course if I attend this?
Yes. So, I think there's real value coming into this course with a fairly blank slate of what coaching is. You might have heard a little bit about coaching, and you might have started already working with clients. This will really give you an idea about how we can make sense of the building blocks there. We're going to talk you through how you can do a strength evaluation with your clients, how you can work with positive resources, how you can help clients find out what their values are, what's important to them, how their worldview works, how to use positive emotions to broaden a client's thought-action repertoires. There are exercises around mindfulness, how to have a conversation about growth after adversity. We talk about engagement and flow. A lot of clients feel disengaged from their life or bored at work or at home. They wake up and they don't really feel inspired to go about their day, or maybe they lost touch with what really used to excite them in their relationship. And there's really a ton of tools from positive psychology that can help you shape your future coaching practice. And particularly the networking aspect of the course is, I think, really important, because we run monthly live seminars where I'll be around to answer any questions that came up from the course. And also the sheer power of learning in a group. I don't just want this to be a course where you have a couple of videos and then you pay some money and you're not really engaged, you're sitting at home on your own. I really want these guys to engage, I really want conversations going. There's an accompanying group where people can share their experiences and reflections, the way that they've used positive psychology with their clients, and really exchange some ideas and connect with each other so that we can bring positive psychology out there in the world.
It's really powerful. So really scientifically grounded practical tools that you've explored and tested with your clients before, and you're sharing it with people. So for example, if somebody who's watching this is an experienced coach, what would be benefiting for them?
Yeah, so I always have quite a number of very experienced coaches. I think that the thing I probably find most with them is that at some point there's a point when they feel they got stuck in this kind of routine. They've found their niche, they're doing powerful work, but the same themes and the same patterns come up, and they work with a similar kind of clients, and particularly in the corporate space, I found many coaches kind of lose a sense of passion that they used to come in with the coaching. You've been coaching for 10 or 15 years, and there's a sense of repetition in the things that you see or the things that you hear about, and I have quite a few coaches kind of stop being excited about their coaching work, and these coaches really reconnect with what coaching is about, is helping people flourish, helping people work on these happiness goals and connect these happiness elements both to the corporate space but also in the life coaching sector. On the other hand, also there's a ton of tools and new approaches, new techniques, evidence-based approaches to really benefit the way that they work. And I think particularly the psychometrics and the assessments and the evaluation tools that have been coming out of positive psychological science, validated psychometric tests that can really monitor progress and really capture how clients move and develop and grow. And they can very much see on a piece of paper very clearly you've moved from X to Y, you moved from 5 to 7, or you've moved from 36 to 78 on a certain scale of what you're trying to achieve. So there's a battery of areas that we can really capture with the right psychometric tool, and part of this course will give you an overview of what's available and how that works.
Yeah, that's really exciting. I think as a coach, measuring the value and the impact of the work that I've been doing with the clients, I've had difficulties in the past expressing where does that lead, where do people start, where have they traveled to.
Yeah.
And I think it's really exciting having these psychometric tests.
Yeah, it's sometimes so powerful just to have a simple before and after. And rather than doing a simple scaling question, hey, between 1 and 10, where are you on the scale? Here's a validated, evidence-based test from science, a questionnaire tool that really captures your sense of autonomy, or your sense of locus of control, or your sense of meaning in your life, or a sense of happiness and well-being, psychological well-being, satisfaction with life. There's so many things that we can really put our fingers on now and really grasp and capture and measure. So that's exciting, particularly for scientists, but yes, so relevant for coaches and their work.
Yeah, so what I'm hearing is this idea of return on investment. That's not just the increase in monetary value, the impact that you create, but it's the measurements and parts of life that me personally not really thought about that you can measure, but it's really exciting. So I'm interested to hear what impact or shifts in perspective that other people have had in the past that's attended these courses, these weekends that you run.
Yeah, so I've got some really powerful testimonials, and I close every weekend with a round of like, how have you experienced the space and what are you taking away? And some of the things that I'm hearing is, it's the whole range from, I got a couple of new tools for my back, and I got something really useful that I can help clients shift negative thinking into positive thinking, or perhaps they were stuck in certain loops and I was able to break that, all the way to I've connected with a sense of meaning in my life based on this weekend, and I've now completely shifted the way that I coach into working with something that I'm passionate about and that my clients are passionate about, which is really getting them to be happier, flourish, reconnect with a sense of meaning and purpose, be more engaged in their jobs or in their relationships, really feel a new sense of inspiration, of energy in their lives. We can help clients to think more positive, more optimistic, and being less pessimistic. We can help clients build resilience so that when life gets tough, then we have the tools to bounce back quicker and even grow beyond. So when we really shift a client's mindset, and positive psychology really has a lot of tools to shift a client's mindset, then clients, when something bad happens, then that growth mindset that we can establish with positive psychology really helps people through tough times. So it's not just working with +5 to +8, helping happy people becoming happier or normal people becoming a bit happier. The application ranges across the whole spectrum of what people can experience, and this weekend really brings that out in people.
Done my research. Seems like you have a book.
Yes, indeed. So initially I've written a course book for this course when I was still running it at Animus, and we share the copyright of that, so I was able to take what I've written and use it in a way that really is an company, like a fellow traveler for this course. So as you're going through the course, you have this book to really dig a little bit deeper and not just introduce all of these topics. If you like reading, then there's tons of sources in there, references, all the studies that I mentioned, a huge reading list if you want to follow it up, and tons of sources that will give you more juicy depth to all of the stuff that you're learning about, including a range of YouTube videos with some of the top positive psychology practitioners, and lots of these psychometric tests that I mentioned that are freely available. I've put a whole selection of these into the end of the book. So participants will get access to not only, probably 12, 14 hours of video material, and be really guided through the course, connecting to others, but also get all of the sources that I'm mentioning, and lots of space to dig further into this stuff.
Yeah, it sounds like there's a lot of value in this, not just the materials itself, but the added extra in terms of getting this book. It's a really good value.
Yeah, and I'm excited because we're getting this book published by a renowned academic publisher as well. So I'm going to take the course book and vamp it up a little bit, talk to a bunch of the leading professionals in positive psychology coaches or professional coaches who use positive psychology, and bring it out in an academic format. But for this course, I'm using the materials that I have, and so that people can really benefit from that. But this is only the beginning of a very exciting field that I think we as coaches that get involved now can really help shape the landscape of what positive psychology coaching is. Because as a science, we're still in our infancy. There's 20 years of research that we can draw on, and there's a lot of juicy stuff in there that we can use, and we've gotten to some solid theories about positive emotions and what they're good for and all of these really great bits. But academically, in terms of what is the concept of positive psychology coaching and what could be a process and a structure, there's so much space to really become a leading figure and really get involved and connect to all of these positive psychology coaches, really help shape the field. So it's an exciting time to get involved.
Exciting. It's getting people to become pioneers. So you've teased us with this book and with this course. So how do people sign up?
Yes, so go to this link and there you'll find a sign-up form, and you'll find all the information you need for the course. And as soon as you're in, I'll give you a little welcome, tell you how the course works, how you get the most out of it. You get access to the private group of other positive psychology coaches, other learners, and the live seminars that we run. There's specific dates that you can join in, although that's optional, obviously. And it would be amazing to see lots of you guys coming and joining us, because I'm excited to help people grow and learn. So come learn with us.
So what I want to say is I just want to appreciate your time to be here with me today, and just to share a bit about your journey and what you want to share in the course, because it's a really interesting and exciting times for positive psychology within the coaching field. And what you're doing is basically sharing the knowledge that you've gathered and the experience that you had working with hundreds of people to help others all over the world to experience that and spread the knowledge. So thank you.
Yes. Well, thank you very much for taking the time to talk to me.